Hi, everyone, and welcome to my monthly Ask Me Anything LinkedIn live show. I can't believe it's already August and the time has come around so quickly. Some of you might have caught up with me last week. I did a 5-day interview series with five amazing women. And if you want to access the replays, you can see them all on my company page for my Super Connector. And you can also see them in my LinkedIn group, Networking Tips for My Super Connector. So if you are joining me today, let me know in the comments. I never know if this is working until the first comment kind of feeds true. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jennifer Corcoran. I'm a LinkedIn trainer and strategist, and I help female entrepreneurs to super boost their profiles and to connect with finesse so that they can attract their ideal client without having to do paid ads or awkward cold outreach. I know we all hate that spammy outreach, and I'm all about organic reach. So no paid advertising with me. So bear with me a sec. Oh, hi, Ellen. It's great. I've seen one comment come true. I need to catch my breath as well. For some reason, I don't know, I kind of held my breath before I went live, which is not really the best thing to do. So if you've not been to one of these shows before, it is your chance to ask me any question about LinkedIn. I do specialize in organic reach, so it's really about the free version of LinkedIn. I can touch on premium as well, but I don't go into Sales Navigator or paid advertising. That's not my bag. But I'm happy to introduce you to amazing people who do that. But I'm all about the organic reach and getting the free version of LinkedIn to work with you first. So great to see that it is working. Alan's live. And if I'd love to know where people are popping in today from. I'm just going to turn off my ticker because it's a bit annoying. So I know Alan's Irish. I'm wearing the green today. I think it's the first time I've worn green on a live, and I just thought I'm feeling summery and feeling Irish. So put in the comments where you're joining me from today, whether you're watching me live or on replay. A lot of people watch LinkedIn Lives on replays, and I totally get it, especially in the summer. And yeah, if you've got any question, don't be shy. Start to put them in the comments and I will go through them. I'm here till 11:30 British Standard Time, and I'm happy. Just fire them at me. This is what this is all about. This is my way of giving back to my community. I do these once a month. And other than that, if you need to pick my brain, you have to pay for it. You can book in your own strategy session, and that's completely specific advice to you. Whereas the advice I give here is more general. So you have to realize it's general because I don't know anyone's situations in depth. If it's a tech question, I can get straight on it. So please drop your questions in. In the meanwhile, I'll just keep chatting to myself until I see one. If you need help with LinkedIn, I do have a LinkedIn profile success checklist that you can get by signing up to my website. You also get a 5-day welcome series now of 5 tips that will help you with your profile. So if you're new to LinkedIn or you're on it a while and you need that help, this will give you that kind of kickstart. So you just get that by signing up to my mailing list. And if you're listening and if you are a female entrepreneur and you want to join a like-minded community, I run a LinkedIn group called Networking Tips on My Super Connector, and it's all about LinkedIn. Sadly, with the LinkedIn trademark, I can't put LinkedIn in the title, but that's what it's all about. So all of the women in there are female entrepreneurs from around the world. So you're all like minds. It's a great place to network as well. And LinkedIn Lives are a great place to network. They're not just about showing up and getting knowledge. It's, if you were at a face-to-face event, you would reach out to people in the room with you. You would chat with them. If you're at a business event, there's likelihood you would connect on LinkedIn or you'd swap a card. So don't ever be shy to reach out to other people on a LinkedIn Live with you because you are like minds. So I don't actually see any questions yet. I just know that Alan's on there. So Alan, if you've got any questions, this is your chance to pick my brain. And if nobody else shows up today, I am probably going to wrap it up early because what can I do? It's an Ask Me Anything. All I would say is if you want to know about recent updates on LinkedIn, I did a blog recently which covers all of the updates from January to July 2021. And I also linked back to a previous blog where I showcased all of the updates on LinkedIn in 2020. I know today is quite a sunny day in the UK, and I imagine lots of people are off their kids. The kids are off school as well, so that's why it's quiet. Oh, hi, Rachel. So we've got a second person. I'm not going to completely just be chatting to Alan. So if you are joining today, if you've any questions, kick it off. I will mention one just to get the ball rolling, because somebody went into my group yesterday and asked a question and said, is there a way of curating your LinkedIn feed similar to Facebook? And yes, there is. And the more you can curate your home feed on LinkedIn, the more you're going to enjoy going on to LinkedIn, because you're going to see the type of content that resonates with you. So I'm connected to over 10,000 people at this point in time, but I'm only following about 1,000. So by unfollowing people, you will be able to curate your feed. And an easy way to do it, you can do it on the desktop, but I think it's probably easier to do it on the app. If you're just sitting, scrolling, watching telly or whatever, have a look at your home feed. And on the top right-hand corner of every post, there are three dots, three ellipses, and you can click up through, and then you get a drop down menu, and then you've got the option to unfollow. Okay. And I know it sounds harsh, but for example, I used to be in corporate for 20 years, and my last role was in shipping finance. I'm not in that world anymore. It's not really relevant to my life. So I'm connected to a lot of the people that I worked with, but I don't follow all their content because I don't need to be up to speed on oil tankers and gas tankers and cruise ships. My bag now is totally different. It's female entrepreneurs, it's entrepreneurship, it's LinkedIn, it's marketing. So I have unfollowed a lot of people whose content is no longer relevant to me or interesting. And I know that sounds harsh. The more you do that, the more your feed will adapt, and you will enjoy going on LinkedIn, because it will be like your personal newspaper or magazine. You've completely curated it, and it doesn't take long. You know, I've got a big network, but if you have a smaller network than me, if you have 500 connections, 1,000 connections, 2,000 connections, even if you do this every evening, maybe while you're sitting watching telly, on unfollow, do it over a week or so, and you will have a lovely curated feed. So think of it as a Marie Kondo kind of decluttering of your feed, and you will really enjoy LinkedIn so much more. Otherwise, you're seeing everything on the home feed. And that's why a lot of people don't like LinkedIn, because they think, oh, it's spammy. I'm seeing all the stuff I don't like. But you need to manage your feed. So it's very similar. If you're on Twitter, you'll know there is such a thing as Twitter lists. And it's the smart move to create Twitter lists on various topics. Otherwise, it's all just blah in one big feed, and it will give you a headache. So yes, you can curate your feed on LinkedIn. It just means unfollowing content, unfollowing people. You're still connected. They won't know that you're unfollowing them. And if they mention a post, there's a good chance with the algorithm you wouldn't have seen it anyway. You don't see all of your network's posts. You probably only see 10 to 15% in the home feed. So if they do come onto you and say, oh, I'd really love your feedback on that post, you just bring up their profile, scroll down to their activity section, go into their posts, and you can see it anyway. So it's not like you're missing out. So hello, I can see a few people. I'm just going to spotlight you until we have some questions. So hi, Ellen. I know Ellen's over in Ireland. Hi, Rachel. Give you a quick spotlight. And if anyone's never used LinkedIn Live with StreamYard, to show the comments, you literally go over as the host your comments and you click show. So can you talk through the video profile, please? So Sue, I presume you mean the new video feature that is behind your headshot. So yeah, I presume that's what you mean. So this is a new feature that's being rolled out in beta around the world. I don't have it yet. There's no rhyme or reason as to when you get these features. When you do get it, you'll just get a little notification on your app, and you'll be able to go in and record a video up to like 20 seconds long. And when people go to your headshot, so your static photo headshot, they will see it move for a second or two. When they click play, then the video will upload. So it will be a 20-second video of you talking to camera, just saying, you know, hi, who you are, whatever you want to put into that 20 seconds. And you can fit a lot in 20 seconds. So it's a warm introduction to you, really. And this feature will be rolled out to absolutely everyone. You can't get away with it. So if you've not got the feature yet, start to psych yourself up. And why not make another video that's 30 seconds long or 60 seconds long? And what you can do is you can attach it to the about summary section of your profile. And again, it's an introduction as to who you are. So if anybody lands on your profile or you reach out to them and they're curious, they can look through the video and learn a bit more about you, because we can learn a lot from a video, people's accents, tones, personality. A video will really sell you. So if you've not got the feature yet, don't worry, I don't have it. There's no rhyme or reason. You'll just suddenly notice it on your app one day, and you can record on the phone. It doesn't have to be a super fancy video, okay? It can be a video inside or outside. If you want to do it outside in nature, that is fine. And actually, it would be great in terms of lighting, okay? It doesn't have to be super slick. This is not like a video you're creating for your website. This is a quick 20-second introduction as to who you are. Um, so hopefully that answers your question. The best thing is, just think of what you want to convey in that message. And it's usually hello, what's your name? What do you do? Who do you help? It's very similar to the formula in your headline. What is your title? Who do you help? What niche? What industry? And how do you help them? And try and convey that in the 20 seconds. Okay. So I presume that's what you meant. And hopefully that is what you meant. So I'm just putting this up for Monday. Can you confirm that if I wanted to read the top 10 articles of the day on LinkedIn, would it be right in saying that I find them on the top right hand side of my homepage? Um, on your homepage, you've got a little toggle at the very top right hand side. It's not very big, and it allows you to filter by recent posts or popular posts. Okay, so that's what that is. Top 10 articles of the day on LinkedIn. To be honest, I'd find that kind of thing on my company page as opposed to my personal profile. If you're a business owner and you've got a company page, you can go into the back end and there is a curation feature where you can see what is trending, what are the trending posts on LinkedIn. I'm curious as to why the top 10 articles of the day. I mean, it's going to be constantly changing. You can see what's trending if you know topics. But for me, I find this kind of information on the company page, not so much on the profile. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe I haven't looked at it as much as you've looked at it, Mandy. So if you've got any kind of other follow-up to that question, let me know. I find that kind of information on the back end of my company page. That's what I do. So I'm just going to quickly say hi to Darren. Nice to see you. And hi to Sue. Nice to see you. Please bring your questions to the table. Any more questions that you've got? We've got up to 11:30. If you go quiet on me, I'll have to wrap it up. I'll just be talking to myself because, I could be here all day answering fictitious questions. So Mandy's just said, okay. So the top 10, it's not something that I've actively looked up on my profile. It could be a feature that's there. I'm not aware of it. Like I said, all I know is on my company page, you can find all the trending posts as a business owner. It's really a great, it's a free analytic built into the back end of your company page, and you can see what is trending according to countries, locations, industries, whether it's marketing or training or coaching. You can filter it down. You can even filter down according to titles, the people that shared it, whether they were a CEO or a director. So that's a feature that's inbuilt to the company page. I'm not aware, I hold my hands up, I'm not aware on the profile. It's not something I've really explored or come across. I think you can see a lot of trending content on your feed. Follow the LinkedIn company pages. There's quite a few. There's one for a LinkedIn marketing page. There's just even type in LinkedIn in the search bar and you will see all the types of LinkedIn pages that you can follow, and you will see a lot of the trending content on them. That's probably the best way to convey it. That's how I find a lot of my information from LinkedIn is on their page. Okay, so any other questions? Keep them coming. Okay. One I haven't spotted before. Sorry, Rachel. So can you chat about keeping LinkedIn posts fresh? So I'd love to know what you mean about fresh. Do you mean like up to date or relevant? Um, are you asking in terms of an individual or a business owner? I think if you are an individual, like an executive, and you're stuck as to what to post, it's very useful to figure out what are your main content pillars. So you could have up to like 5 topics that you're going to talk about all the time consistently, and 5 topics that really mean a lot to you. So for example, my topics are LinkedIn tips. One is networking as well. I've done a lot of face-to-face networking as well as online. Another one is mental health. I'm a massive advocate of that. I'm also interested in exploring imposter syndrome because I know so many clients get blocked on LinkedIn and just really block themselves with networking, putting content out there. And I would say the last topic I talk about is personal branding, because I just love the power of how you can create your personal brand, and you have full control of that digital footprint. And if you don't take control of your personal brand, you're allowing others to dictate what they say about you. So I love that we can have the power to create our own personal brand. So I think as an individual, having clear content pillars. So how do you find them? Well, you have to really dig deep into who you are, what are your values, what do you stand for? And once you know that, then you'll be pretty clear on your content pillars. If it was a business, again, you could have similar content pillars, and you might want to have various daily themes. So in terms of content on the home feed, so you could have various hashtags. So Monday could be hashtag Monday motivation. So you share something motivational. It could be a quote. Tuesday could be Tuesday tips, or it could be Thankful Tuesday, Testimonial Tuesday. Wednesday could be Wednesday wisdom. So sharing something curated that's, and telling people why it's great and why they should check it out. Thursday can be Testimonial Thursday or Throwback Thursday. You get the gist. Friday could be Friday feeling or Friday follow. So I personally find kind of having daily themes keeps me on track. I don't know if that's fresh though. In terms of fresh, like I said, if you're a business owner, there is a way of going into the analytics of your company page and you can see all the posts that are trending. So that way you can kind of stay in the loop. By fresh as well, I think it's always good to follow the pages of companies that interest you. So whatever your preferred topic is or subjects, by following trainers, ambassadors, influencers, you're kept in the loop. So I follow the pages of all my clients, obviously, also all my suppliers, whether that's a physical thing or a software. So it could be a software like StreamYard, so I know what's in the loop. Again, I follow LinkedIn company page. Anything I use in my business, my CRM is Dubsado, I follow them. Microsoft Outlook, anything like that, I follow all of that to stay in the loop, and that keeps you updated. So I think that's how you can have fresh content. So the more you follow pages that are relevant to what you do or your industry. So if you belong to a particular profession and you belong to a body or a network or an association, you'd follow all their pages, because that way you can see what is industry news, what is trending, what are industry articles. So the more company pages you follow on your preferred topic, the more you're going to be up to date, and the more you're going to enjoy your home feed as well, because you're seeing that news that you want to see. So I hope that helps. So that's just a little bit about. Okay, I struggle to think of new content as an individual. I think, yeah, knowing your content pillars, even if you don't pick 5, if you can pick 3, 3 things that really matter to you, then it's easy. It's like for me going onto a live and chatting about LinkedIn, it's not that hard. But if you got me on to chat about motorbike racing, I'd be like, oh my God, this is hideous. I think once you're chatting about topics that are close to your heart and to your values, then think what excites you, what do you read? Like personal branding for me is a bit of a hobby, and I started exploring it about 10 years ago. And then think to yourself, what kind of books do you read, what kind of programs do you watch? Dig deep into who you are, and then you'll figure out what you're about, and what you stand for and what your values are. And then you'll be able to think of content, okay? And obviously, always stay in your own lane. Don't worry about anyone else, what they're doing. You do your own content, you do you all the time. If someone's doing video and you hate video, you don't have to do video. If you prefer to just do 2 lines of text, absolutely do that. If you prefer graphics, use graphics. If you prefer Carousels, use carousels. That is several graphics together. Do you like the polling feature? Use the polling feature. You know, you're all going to have different connections and different audience types and different communities. So what works for one won't work for another because their community might hate that particular feature. So it's all trial and error. But the main thing is be you and then be consistent. So I think for me, when I was in corporate, it's all about being community focused on LinkedIn and thinking, how can I give back? So for me, when I used to be a PA, I thought, well, I'm really fed up of the way PAs are kind of looked down on as, I don't know, tea and typing and dumb. And I was like, I'm a graduate, I have a degree, I speak several languages. And I knew several other PAs who were like PAs to the CEO and CFO who had masters and could speak 5 languages. So I started to really champion the PA profession. And of course, that made me popular with my peers because I was standing up for them. And I wrote blogs on, you know, how to network as a PA, how to create a PA network within your company. I did a proposal within my own company and sent it to HR. So it's how can you give back to your profession? And then I, you know, started to become passionate about mental health because my mother's got mental health issues and I had a friend who committed suicide. So mental health is very important to me and, you know, mental health awareness. So I think dig deep as to your profession or what really matters to you. And then you'll find your content pillars because once you know your pillars, then it's kind of rinse and repeat. It's just about being consistent and then you build that know, like, and trust. So you have to kind of go deep. And I get it because when I was in corporate, I was never taught to go deep. You start a job, you probably know the values of the company when you go for the interview, you learn it off by heart and you're like, you stand for X, Y, Z. And then maybe you forget it. I did. And you're not really taught to explore your own personal values as an individual. Whereas when I started in business nearly 5 years ago, I had to learn about it within the first year. And I was like, oh, what do I stand for? What are my values? What are my company values? What is my mission? What is my vision? And the deeper you go into exploring who you are, then the content will come because you know what you stand for. And I think a lot of people on LinkedIn don't know what they stand for. And that's why they get blocked with content. They're not sure what to write because deep down, they've not really explored who they are as an individual or even as a company. And I hold my hand up for the first year of my company. You know, I didn't have any company values. I didn't really know what I stood for. I just wanted to do a good job and make my clients happy and, you know, pay the bills. And it was only over time I realized, oh, I have a personal brand, whether I'm aware of it or not. And, you know, for my business brand to stand out, I really need to go deep here. So my brand values as a company, it's the word hacks, because I'm all about quick wins and tips and not having to join a 12-month program or whatever. So the H for me is honesty. I am brutally honest and I will be brutally honest with my clients about how to help them on LinkedIn and in general in life. I'm an honest person. What you see is what you get. Accessibility. I believe LinkedIn is for absolutely everyone. You don't have to be in corporate in a suit. You don't have to be a CEO or multi 6, 7, 8 figure person. It's for everyone. Students can use it from school to the, you know, to the gamut to the top. So whether you're creative, whether you're corporate, B2B, B2C, I think LinkedIn is for everyone. It's about learning how to use it for you and your personality. And then the C for me is all about connection. You know, that's what life's about, connecting with each other as human beings and seeing how we can help each other. The K is for kindness because I always lead with kindness and I want to attract fellow givers and matchers, not takers. I don't want takers in my network. And I can usually smell them a mile off. And then the S is for synergy, but it could also be for success, you know. So I think the more you go deep on who you are, Rachel, then you will get clear as to your content pillars, but you have to do a deep dive as to you as an individual, what you personally stand for, and then if you're a business owner, what your company stands for. So I'm just going to quickly go to the comments, and I'm so grateful that you've shown up, people, and you're giving me a few because I was getting worried there at the start. Okay. Okay, that's good to hear, Sarah. So Sarah said she had her first face-to-face networking this morning and she used the QR code in lieu of a business card. So you get the QR code on the app if you don't know about that, folks. And yeah, it is good. And to be honest, I think personally, I think the days of business cards, even though I do love my business cards and they've got my branding on and I think they're quite snazzy, I do think they are behind us. And I think most people do connect just online. They'll either go and try and find you or the QR code. So I'm trying to see if I can show you how to get it up here. So if you are on the app, you go to the top search bar and you'll see this weird little box in the corner, and you click on the box, and here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, and then you get the option of your LinkedIn QR code. So you can either scan or bring up my code. So I'm going to bring up my code, and that's what it's like. So that's what Sarah used this morning. So she just will have gone up to someone else's device and went click. Very techy. And you can do a screenshot, or you can save your code. So if you can get in here, I would advise you to screenshot. Then you've always got it, and it doesn't matter whether you've got Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. You've always got it somewhere in your phone, or do it before you go to the event. But yeah, it is a good feature. I've never really used it, to be honest, because I was aware of it like 2 years ago when we actually did the face-to-face. But yeah, it is a good feature. Okay, I'm seeing lots of questions coming in here. Okay. Yeah, Mandy said, I'd heard someone say they read the top 10 on articles every day and was wondering how I could set up an alert to find them. I'll reach out to them. Yeah, hashtags on certain subjects are great. Following hashtags that are interest to you. So if there are, like for me, I follow hashtags like hashtags personal branding, hashtag LinkedIn tips, hashtags mental health. When you start to follow all the hashtags of topics that interest you, you'll see all that content in your feed. So yeah, do reach out to that person as well and see how they found them. So Darren's come up. Sorry, what's the best way to get headhunted on LinkedIn? Have an amazing profile. That's the best way, really. Just have your profile fully optimized. Have great keywords throughout it. So if you are looking for a job, bring up the job spec. Look through the job spec, look at the hard skills, soft skills, make sure they're all in your profile so that you will come up when they are searching for that type of person. So it's all about doing your research and doing your keyword research. And keywords are your skills, basically. It's that endorsement area on your profile. You're allowed to showcase 50. So make sure you've got relevant keywords. A lot of people complain and say, oh, especially business owners, new business owners, and they say, oh, I'm being asked, I'm headhunted by recruiters, but I don't do that anymore. And I'm like, well, does your profile show that? Because you're showing all your old skills. You know, for example, when I transitioned to becoming a business owner, I had to tweak that whole section, because you don't care if I'm good at Microsoft Outlook. You care if I'm good at LinkedIn or lead generation, you know, or LinkedIn marketing. So a lot of that had to be deleted off. So make sure you've got those those relevant keywords. A good site to help you with keywords, there's lots of keyword sites out there, but one I've explored recently is Word Tracker. Okay, so WORDTRACKER.com, and you can put in a title and it will suggest loads of other keywords to you that are popular or trending. So do explore that. But yeah, I think the more you know your keywords and the more optimized your profile is, so fill it out as much as you can. Okay, if you leave out certain sections, you're going to limit yourself in search. You're not going to come up. So I am going to just I do get contacted by recruiters, but more so when they've seen my CV and my profile there is nowhere near as up to date. Am I missing something? Yeah, just make sure that your LinkedIn profile is really selling yourself, you know, really selling you and has the same keywords. And I know it's nice to be headhunted, but I'm a big fan in taking action. Okay. So if you have particular firms in mind that you want to work for, okay, maybe it's, I don't know, Microsoft, Amazon, follow their pages, comment on their pages, figure out who's their HR director and reach out. You know, he or she who dares wins. Don't wait for people to come to you, because that's a passive approach on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's not just a jobs board, it is a social network. So if the more that you do your research and the more that you know the title of the job you want, put it in the search bar. You can see content. You can see content direct from recruiters saying we are looking for a person in XYZ. And not many people apply to those posts. They go to the jobs section of LinkedIn. And I'm not a fan of the jobs board part of LinkedIn, because I just think there's massive competition and you'll apply for a job there and you're pushing a queue and who wants to wait? Yeah. So I will look up, if I find something in the jobs board, I will put up that title in the search bar and find the recruiter or the HR person talking about on the home feed, comment on it, and then reach out to them. Then they will know you because they've already seen your comment, and just say, I'd really love to talk about this. Then you bypass that queue of hundreds, thousands of people in the job board section. So don't worry about being found. You can take action. But if you just want to be passive, you need to have a shithole profile. Okay. That's the best way of saying it, with all the relevant keywords and as optimized as follows. Okay. Okay, let me see what Naveed's saying. If in the future I need a job in Europe, so you can help me because now. I mean, yeah, references, testimonials, recommendations, they are social proof and they're so important on LinkedIn. So anytime you work with somebody, whether it's paid or voluntary or a project, get a testimonial because it's social proof and it will help you have the edge over your competition. So if two people are going for a job, they both have equal skills, they've both been found by recruiters or they found the recruiters, and it gets down to that final interview, they're both great. One person's got 10 testimonials and the other's got 0. Who are they going to go for? The one with 10. So don't ever be shy to ask for recommendations, okay? And the more you spoon feed people, the more information you give them, the quicker you'll get the recommendations. So you say, like, hi Mary, we worked together on the ABC project last May, and at the time you said ABC. I'd really love if you could put that on my LinkedIn profile as I'm updating it, okay? And let me know if I can help you in any way. So it's a win-win. You're saying, I'd really appreciate you to give me this, and can I help you? Okay, it's always a win-win on LinkedIn. It's not just help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Okay, it's always 50-50. So I can see we've gone slightly over the time, and I will wrap up here. All I will say is I'll just put up a few banners again, because Darren, if you need help, I think you might have my checklist already. Go to my LinkedIn profile checklist, and that's at the bare minimum what you need to have in to be found in search. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, but it's a good place to start. If anybody wants that checklist, just sign up to my mailing list. If you are a female entrepreneur and you want to network with like minds, I've nearly 2,000 women in my group, networking tips with my super connector. And as ever, a lovely ticker if you need my help with organic reach. And if you need questions just for you, I run strategy sessions. So I do these on Zoom, and they're for individuals or companies, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or 2 hours. And it's a deep dive into you only. It's not just generic advice. I help you to create your strategy, and half of that call could be optimizing your profile. The other half could be the content pillars, the connection strategy, the outreach, what kind of messages to send. Okay, so if that sounds like something that you need help with, I love helping people with their strategy. Okay, and yeah, it's all on Zoom, like everything these days. So I'm going to love you and leave you and say thank you so much for joining, and thank you if you're watching the replay. The next one will be in a month, the first Wednesday in the month, 11 a.m. British Standard Time. And thank you to everyone who showed up. I was a bit nervous at the start. I thought nobody was coming because it's a sunny day here and the kids are off, but I'm really grateful that you did show up. So thanks again, folks. And hopefully I answered your questions. If anything's kind of niggling, reach out to me, okay? Take care. Have a good one. Bye.